Coming up tonight, younger Singaporeans are more likely to be concerned about vaccine safety than those who are older, according to a study. Ready for takeoff, the air travel bubble between Singapore and Hong Kong will start on May 26 if all goes well. And in local showbiz news, MediaCorp terminates actor Shane Powell's contract after his drink driving charge. This is the Straits Times Newsnight. Good evening, I'm Dylan Ang. Younger Singaporeans are more likely to be concerned about vaccine safety than those who are older. That's according to new research by the Institute of Policy Studies following a year-long study on the attitudes and sentiments of Singaporeans on socio-economic issues amid the pandemic. When asked how concerned are you that the safety and potential side effects of the COVID-19 vaccines are not fully known yet, here's how the respondents answered. 61% of those in their 20s and 64% of those in their 30s were rather or very concerned about the safety and potential side effects of vaccines. That's compared with 48% of those aged 60 and above. IPS says one reason for this could be due to targeted governmental campaigns encouraging the elderly to vaccinate on top of the so-called push factor of increased vulnerability among seniors. The younger generation, on the other hand, have more access and exposure to online news that may highlight possible flaws in the current vaccines. Overall, IPS found that 2 in 3 Singaporeans were willing to take the vaccine if it were offered to them. 13% said they were unwilling and the remaining 20% were neutral on the issue. Since Singapore's vaccination program began in December, almost 850,000 residents are fully vaccinated, while 1.3 million have received their first dose so far. It won't be the world's first travel bubble or even the second, but there's still plenty of excitement about it, as seen in this video by Discover Hong Kong. After a 6-month delay, the Hong Kong-Singapore air travel bubble is set to relaunch on May 26. Passengers from both sides have to be tested negative for COVID-19 before they can board the plane. And there's an additional requirement for Hong Kong residents. They must be fully vaccinated before taking the bubble flights.
I should say that Hong Kong-Singapore is no longer the first air travel bubble in the world. There was the Taiwan Palau, which is a semi-bubble, and then you got a double unilateral arrangement, which is a Tasman air travel bubble. But I think the Hong Kong-Singapore one is still quite unique in the sense that it is between 2 cities which are aviation hubs as well as financial services hubs. So to get this bubble up successfully, I think will have a significant signaling effect to the rest of the world.
A look at the COVID-19 situation here. 45 new infections were confirmed today, with 1 in the community and another from a migrant workers' dormitory. The remaining 43 were all imported and had been placed on stay-home notice upon arrival here. As the world watches with alarm, India has reported yet another record spike in COVID-19 infections. More than 352,000 cases and over 2,800 deaths today. Countries and companies are pledging support with shipments of ventilators and oxygen heading to India. Over the weekend, Temasek partnered Air India and Amazon India to airlift essential medical supplies from Singapore for hospitals and treatment centres across India, where local communities are in urgent need of aid. Now, due to the recent tightening of border measures for those arriving in Singapore from India, the Building and Construction Authority announced new measures today to help avert a manpower crunch in the construction sector. From next month, hiring workers from China will become easier. BCA says that for a 6-month period from May 7th, new Chinese work permit holders will not be required to complete their skills certification in China before arriving. Instead, they may obtain it in Singapore. Another measure will see the public sector granting construction contracts an extra 49-day extension of the timeline for delays due to the pandemic. Let's take a look at what's been trending on social media today. It's farewell for local actor Shane Powell, as MediaCorp announced that it is terminating its contract with the 29-year-old. This as Powell had kept the company in the dark about his drink driving charge last Thursday. In a statement today, MediaCorp clarified that they were not aware of the drink driving charge prior to it being reported on April 22nd, and that Powell did not inform the RT's management team about the matter that took place last September. He will remain to complete outstanding work till May 4th. Did you watch the Oscars this morning? While Nomadland swept the top honors, here's a moment that got social media buzzing.
Mr. Brad Pitt, finally. Nice to meet you. Where were you while we were filming in Tulsa?
Flirting at the Oscars, South Korean actress Yoon Yo-jung expressing her delight at meeting the Hollywood actor after winning the Best Supporting Actress award for her role in Minari. The 73-year-old is the first Korean to win an acting Oscar and only the second Asian woman. Also making history, Facebook won its first Oscar for 24-minute virtual reality documentary short Colette. And it was a night to remember for Netflix, the most successful studio of the night, winning 7 trophies, but not Best Picture for productions like Ma Rainey's Black Bottom and Mank. Congrats to all winners. In football, 8,000 fans witnessed Manchester City beat Tottenham Hotspur 1-0 at Wembley to win the League Cup for the 4th consecutive year. For the first time in 13 months, fans from both teams were allowed inside the stadium as part of a series of pilot events. And it seems like players and staff loved it, with Man City manager Pep Guardiola among those praising the energy and atmosphere it brings, saying to celebrate with them is much better. Now, City's official Instagram page was unsurprisingly filled with pictures of their victory, celebrating with their 23.4 million followers. But you won't be seeing posts like this or any at all from this Friday, with all 20 Premier League teams staging a 4-day social media boycott as part of efforts to tackle online hate and abuse aimed at players and members of the footballing community. The boycott comes ahead of this weekend's fixtures, including the mega clash between Manchester United and Liverpool. In case you missed it, talk about a squeeze. It's not every day you see a super yacht trying to squeeze through a network of narrow canals. Fascinating footage has emerged of Project 817, a 94-meter vessel making its way to the North Sea at Rotterdam, passing by houses and churches in the process. The whole trip took around 4 days from the shipyard where it was built to get to the sea, guided by tugboats and a team of 5 experts and a crew on board. So why take this difficult route in the first place? Seems like there was no other choice, as it's the only route for boats from the shipyard to get to the open sea. Think about the stress you have to go through. Amazing. And that wraps up the Straits Times Newsnight. Do visit straitstimes.com to see more news and videos. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel by hitting the button below. Have a great evening. We'll see you tomorrow.